Collete just pulled up to the shop. I can't wait to see what the car looks like. What's up? If my camera would focus. Oh gosh, come on, there we go. What's up, Martin? You've been busy.
Yeah, we've been busy. We've been working real hard.
The rear end is insane. Wow. So if you remember the last time we were here, none of that was even started yet. This is crazy. The transmission tunnel, we were just cutting this out last time, kind of trying to get an idea of what it would look like. There's a sequential, and the front end has been completely built out now. You know, this was the part shop's max knuckle, but then he made custom pieces from there. So these are custom lower control arms. He actually had to extend the stock tie rods. You gotta talk us through all these changes. Where should we start? We will start, let's just start in the front with the Angel kit setup.
Since we decided to adapt a front cross member from the FC to this car, we just use everything that's there to make it work for the FC. Like this sway bar is the OEM FC sway bar. The knuckles, like we talked about, are the PBM FC knuckles that I designed a long time ago.
No big deal. He just, you know, engineered the thing. No big deal.
Arms had to be a lot wider because of its nature. So we had to make this, you know, custom. You know, luckily Steve is very capable and he whipped it out for me. And everything fits and works good. I already tested everything, not on the ground, but I shortened the coilover so that the suspension's now sitting like as if it was on the ground.
Yeah.
And you know, I made sure all the clearance is there.
And you guys,
there's a bump stop that I added.
Oh, nice.
Real good. So if you want to eliminate, you know, say if the suspension's like rubbing on something, because due to getting, you know, too much angle or something like that, you can adjust.
And you guys use the stock tie rods, but you just extended them, right?
Like, I don't know if you caught this from last time, but one of the things that I really like about FC is that the rack is in the front of the arm. When you have rack behind the lower control arm pickup point, it puts a lot more load on it. So having front rack set up, you can actually get away with running stock tie rods that I extended. For
the lower control arm and the tie rods, I mean, what is approximately how much wider they are? Like how much wider did you have to make them?
About 4.5 inches on each side.
That's so crazy! On each side!
Yeah.
Oh
but that's allowing us to run, you know, big tire size without having any, you know, rubbing issue. Yeah. Which is really nice. You know, since this car is such a you know, high level, well, it's going to be a high level drift car. Yeah. You know, we want to have enough grip and, you know, capability. With the wide body kit that I have on my FC would look a lot better if I literally just take this exact setup and put it on my FC now. I mean, it will bolt on. It will just bolt right on, and everything will just bolt on. So I'm gonna have to steal it. You already got the piece engineered. Gotta steal it from you now. So we got a big brake kit on right now. So what kit is this? It's 100% custom made by Steve, my partner. Oh wow. He comes from racing and, you know, grip driving background. And another thing is that this car will have a pedal system that doesn't have an air assist. So we needed to squeeze as big as possible brake system on here. So that's what Steve did, and as you can see, the wheel is barely clearing. This isn't the wheel that we're gonna be running, by the way, but they're basically as big as you can make it. Custom Angel pieces, custom brake setup, and I am imagining you had to make this fully custom as well with the fans. It's the Griffin dual pass radiator. I'm basically trying to fit the biggest fans possible. So you custom made the shroud, and then this is going to be a V-mount setup? V-mount setup, yeah. This is better for airflow, right? Yeah, with a V-mount? Yeah. It's going to be a lot more efficient of air cooling. And oil coolers, you already got those mounted? On both sides, yeah.
dual oil cooler mounted. This is all the stuff that I still have to do to my FC. I'm like, oh. I have to do V-mount. I gotta mount my oil coolers more, because right now my oil cooler, you would try. It's zip tied on and like hanging by a few zip ties, but this is good. This is good inspiration for me, you know?
Yeah.
And your FC is good inspiration for me to finish mine. So I think that's the biggest updates for the front. And then taking us back to the trans tunnel, we had just started cutting that out, like just approximately trying to size it last time.
Right, last time you helped me cut this. I had to trim just a little bit more, but remember last time we didn't want to cut too much off and then, having to add it later. So that was a really good call. I got it to fit just right, and
there she is.
It's starting to come together.
6-speed sequential. Oh, the best. And then you also welded the whole tunnel as well, like the frame for it, right?
The frame for it.
Yeah.
And the cover pieces will get welded on later.
And you're just gonna cover it with like sheet metal and weld it all.
But the pieces that are gonna be removable, I'll make it out of aluminum.
Like for up here?
Top, up here, where the shifter area is and where the bell housing area is, you want to have an access hole. So you can get your hands in there if you need to, like, you know, service something, service clutch, stuff like that.
Oh, and last time I did forget in the front. So we talked a little bit about how you decided to, instead of using the Heim joint, replace it to a bushing. So will you just really quick, again, from your experience, say why we're doing that?
From my experience in drifting, making everything Heim joints is great because, you know, your suspension, you know, moves smooth and work great and all that. But for drifting, I believe that having a little bit of give is, you know, good, so you don't bend your actual subframe.
You want to have fun, get close to your friends, drifting, give them a little bump, you know? Yeah, so it's nice having a little bit of give.
To give you that, just a little bit of leeway.
Write it down, everyone. This glorious masterpiece in the back here. So this is probably the craziest thing I've seen, and this is the first time you guys took a crack at completely re-engineering the back, right? Yeah,
because usually when we build cars, you know, we just use what's there and modify it to make it better. But this car was a front engine, front wheel drive car that we're asked to convert it to this platform. So basically we cut everything in the back off. I had to weld to the chassis, you know, some tie-in points.
So you have three main contact points
on
here,
one
right?
Side, yeah, this, that, and the shock tower, which will all get tied into the roll cage after, you know, later. So that was like the first step, and then the second step was to just basically create this frame. Mild steel, but every point has different thickness. For
then the bash bars in the back.
And this is also bolt-on. Dash bar.
For quick change. What diff is in here?
This is the Speedway Engineering quick change differential. A lot of Formula D guys use Winters, which is pretty much the same thing. This is known to work really well. NASCARs use it.
And there's space in here for the fuel cell. Right?
Which we haven't gotten, but I already have the measurements and everything will fit right above here.
This is so crazy. You've gotten so much done in like little time.
The whole build is hard, but the hardest part was this.
Yeah, I mean the back you had, you were engineering it from the ground up. So this is truly one of a kind. Okay, so we have the fuel cell that is still missing, and then assembling the rest of the rear end, which we are doing today. We're gonna have video of that. But in order to complete the setup in the back, you guys had to completely engineer everything else as well, right?
Right. Basically, Steve and I work on old Ferraris and exotic cars, and we really like their design. So we kind of took their, you know, ideas, and we basically made our own versions of it. These are the rear knuckles, rear uprights.
They're so nice.
And we're gonna be using GTR Skyline wheel hub because they're known to be real beefy. So this is gonna get bolted on here.
So everything gold on this table has been one-off engineered by you guys. So we have the arms back here.
Right. Lower arm, upper arm, BC coilovers, of course, for the FC. We had to modify the top plate just a little bit to make it slim so that I can fit into that contour. We're actually using sway bar, OEM sway bar off of a 348 Ferrari.
What?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
So we're gonna have a combination between the FC and the Ferrari.
That is great. And we're gonna be installing all of this today so we can get a much better look at the complete rear end by the end of this video. We also had our rotiform wheels come in.
18x9, 0 offset, known to work really good in drifting.
You wanted 0 offset around the entire car, right?
Yes, because when you have different offset front and back, sometimes it's confusing. Sometimes you damage one wheel and you only have one spare or something like that. It makes the car a lot more simple. And then,
simplify your drift life.
Yeah.
And specifically, if anyone's interested, these are 18x9 CCV 2-piece. These are the 2-piece ones. Well, now that we have the wheels here, I mean, I want to see what they look like on the car. So today, will you just walk us through what you and I are going to be installing on the car today?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be installing this entire table, right?
Very simple. Yeah, everything is already laid out. All we gotta do is install the hubs to the rear uprights, and we're just gonna bolt everything onto the car.
Everything here will be there. That's so exciting! Like today we're actually gonna see the rear end of the car and this masterpiece that Martin and Steve engineered. So just to recap, this is super cool Ferrari sway bar, FC coilovers by BC. Everything else that is gold here is fully custom, uprights. Awesome! Well, we are gonna get started because we have a lot of work to do. So, here we go. This is gonna be really awesome because if you're actually following my videos, I haven't done anything to the rear end of my FC yet. It is a new field for exploration and I'm really excited to finish up the rear end on this car so I can be super envious and have motivation to work on my car. Today I got to help finish mocking up the rear end so we can see what our new rotiform wheels look like, but I'm gonna head out and let the guys finish working on the rest of this build, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when I get back.